What I'm tracking right now is going to impact millions of people over the next 5 days, and you need to understand exactly what's coming. A powerful storm system is building that will bring damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, then completely flip the script with freezing temperatures, dangerous wind chills, and a potential major snowstorm this weekend. Drop your location in the comments right now and I'll break down your specific forecast. Here's what's developing and why this is so significant. We're not dealing with just one weather event. We're tracking multiple phases of dangerous weather from tomorrow, Wednesday, all the way through the weekend. And the latest model guidance this morning is giving us much better clarity on timing and impacts. Comment your city, and I'll tell you which phase threatens you most. Tomorrow, Wednesday, kicks things off with severe weather, bringing chances for damaging winds and hail across portions of the southwest and south-central states. There's no tornado threat tomorrow, but that changes dramatically Thursday. Thursday is when we start seeing tornado potential, along with damaging winds and large hail from Texas through the Mississippi Valley extending towards the Great Lakes. Drop your location if you're anywhere in this extensive zone, and I'll give you detailed timing. Thursday evening, those damaging winds could push even further towards the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, with wind gusts reaching 40 to 50 miles per hour in some areas. Then Friday becomes our main event, where we could see significantly more tornadoes, more damaging winds, and more large hail across an even wider area. Comment your city right now and I'll provide your hour-by-hour breakdown. At this very moment, we're already seeing active weather across multiple regions. Thunderstorms are ongoing over Washington and Oregon, with snow falling at higher elevations in the mountains. Meanwhile, the Northeast is currently being impacted by freezing rain, sleet, and snow across New England that continues all the way until tomorrow morning. If you're experiencing any of this right now, drop your location in the comments because I want to know what conditions are like in your area. As we move into tomorrow, a cutoff low is coming from the southwest, and it's bringing severe weather potential with it as it tracks across the Four Corners region Wednesday evening into the south-central states by Thursday morning. We'll see some storms develop Wednesday evening, but they become much more organized and severe as we transition into Thursday, bringing those chances for damaging winds and hail. And with the atmospheric setup, you cannot rule out a brief tornado. Comment if you're in this path and I'll respond with specifics for your location. When we get to Thursday night, the system starts pushing towards the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, bringing threats to those regions as well. Right now, we're showing chances for hail and damaging winds across those areas. Then Friday is when everything really ramps up, and this is where the pattern becomes extremely concerning. This is when we get that negative tilt developing, that deep trough digging in, and multiple storm systems building up simultaneously. Tell me your location, and I'll explain which day poses your biggest threat. For Thursday, you're going to see thunderstorms developing along Arizona, portions of Nevada, and across the entire south-central region, extending all the way towards the Great Lakes. We have a 5% severe weather risk, and this encompasses all hazards, including chances for damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. Here are the cities and states currently in the risk area for Thursday's severe weather. Drop a comment if you're in any of these locations so I can provide specific information. According to the National Weather Service forecast discussion, if these storms can mature within the favorable wind shear environment, then the threat for damaging winds, isolated large hail, and a tornado or two could definitely evolve during Thursday. I personally think this threat could linger all the way towards the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes regions, bringing at least chances for damaging winds and some periods of high winds moving through. Comment your exact location and I'll tell you what to expect. Friday is when we hit our main event as that negative tilt develops on the shortwave trough, and it starts bringing enhanced chances for tornadoes, damaging winds and large hail once again across a broader area. The cities and states at risk for Friday's severe weather are even more extensive. Colorado State University's severe weather model is showing this could potentially be upgraded further for eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Missouri, southern Illinois, and western Tennessee. Comment your state if you're watching from any of these areas and I'll give you details. Friday's severe weather could be particularly intense for Louisiana, extending through central and northern Mississippi according to the latest model guidance. And as we push into Saturday, the severe weather threat could extend a bit further towards the northeast, bringing at least a marginal risk for damaging winds and possibly some small hail. This is shaping up to be a significant multi-day severe weather event. Drop your location if you're in the northeast and concerned about Saturday. When you look at the vorticity analysis, You can see we have that cutoff low positioned for tomorrow that moves across the Four Corners region Wednesday evening, then tracks across the south-central states, bringing that threat all the way through Thursday as it approaches the Ohio Valley. But the main severe weather threat is actually going to come from this deep trough positioned right behind it as it literally transitions into that negative tilt configuration and starts rapidly intensifying storms across the southern states. Comment if you'd like me to explain what negative tilt means for your area. This atmospheric setup will generate strong to severe storms Friday evening, continuing all the way through Friday night as the system moves across towards the northeast. We also have a concentrated pocket of instability that develops and moves across as well. When you examine the overall weather pattern, you see this large upper-level high-pressure system that's revolving moisture in a clockwise direction while simultaneously a cold trough of cold air is dropping down and pivoting right towards that same general area. Tell me your city and I'll explain which side of this clash you're positioned on. This collision zone where the warm, unstable air and the cold air mass meet together is going to be our most hostile area for severe weather development. This same pattern is also responsible for bringing those damaging winds and that potential significant snowstorm all the way towards the Great Lakes and the Northeast as you progress through Saturday. When you have low-pressure and high-pressure systems squeezing together like this, you develop these very tight isobars, and that configuration produces high chances for strong winds and dangerous wind chill values. Comment if you're prepared for potentially life-threatening wind chills this weekend. Thursday and Friday is when we really sit right in the heart of that deep trough, with the system continuously pumping all this warm temperature air and rich moisture right across the lower Mississippi Valley and mid-Mississippi Valley regions, creating substantial amounts of atmospheric instability, all the way from Thursday building even stronger into Friday. Then for Saturday, you can see that pocket of instability that pushes towards the northeast, bringing additional thunderstorm chances with it as well. Drop your location and I'll break down your Saturday forecast specifically. The entire time you're experiencing these thunderstorms and severe weather, that cold air is simultaneously pushing through behind the system, bringing significant snowfall potential for Friday going into Saturday. Then the full cold air blast comes sweeping through all the way through Sunday and Monday following that. This is the 6Z model run with the European model that came out this morning, and it's still showing as we move through Thursday. We're going to have some very strong winds aloft in the atmosphere. This will sustain the thunderstorms all the way towards the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes regions as you go through Thursday evening. This setup is going to bring a potential significant damaging wind event for those areas. Comment your city if you're positioned in this zone. Overnight Thursday transitioning into Friday, we're going to see even stronger winds aloft developing as we get that negative tilt configuration, bringing our severe weather threat all over again. This is also going to be responsible for bringing those strong and dangerous wind chills. Now, if you've noticed, the forecast track has shifted slightly further towards the east compared to previous runs, but the overall impacts remain essentially the same. You can see that trough digging down, bringing the chances for damaging winds with this weather pattern. Drop a comment and I'll tell you your expected wind gust forecast. The models are consistently showing damaging winds really building up as we progress from Thursday into Thursday evening, all the way from the south-central states towards the Great Lakes region, bringing wind gusts of 40 and 50 miles per hour, extending all the way towards the interior portions of the northeast. When that deep trough comes sweeping through, it's bringing all those very cold temperatures with it. That's what's going to produce this snowstorm potential, and it's going to help any snow that falls stick around through the weekend. Tell me in the comments whether you're hoping for significant snow or if you're dreading this winter weather. You can really see the cold air mass digging in as we progress from Friday all the way from the south-central states towards the Great Lakes, continuing through Saturday for the mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley regions, extending all the way through Sunday for the northeast. The pattern is still bringing major snow accumulations for today and tomorrow for the Rockies and the Cascade Mountain ranges. But as we transition from Friday into Saturday, that's when it's bringing that major snowstorm potential for a much broader area. Comment your location if you're positioned in the potential heavy snow accumulation zone. This is the 6Z run, which is the newest model run this morning from the European model, and you can see the latest snowfall projections showing essentially the same solution that the GFS model is now finally showing as well. The GFS model has finally come into agreement with what the European model has been consistently indicating all along over the past several runs. Drop your city in the comments and I'll tell you what both major models are showing specifically for your location. When we examine the possibilities of what the actual outcome could be, we need to look at the ensemble forecast systems. Each individual ensemble member has slightly different variations in its solution, so we can see the range of possibilities spanning from worst-case scenario all the way to best-case scenario. You can see that many of these ensemble members are showing this strong storm system tracking all the way from the Four Corners region through the central Great Plains, extending all the way towards the Great Lakes region. Comment your location and I'll explain what the ensemble spread means for forecast confidence in your area. There are still a handful of ensemble members that are showing it could develop into a warmer temperature scenario, where it won't produce that significant snowfall for the Central Plains region, and the heavy snow would only be concentrated around the Great Lakes area. But the ensemble consensus is showing that more than likely you will receive something in the Central Plains, it just won't be the major snowfall amounts. The major snowfall accumulations will occur as the system moves into the evening hours towards the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley regions. You can observe this same pattern across the other 25 ensemble members as well, showing that a warmer scenario remains a realistic possibility, but it's really going to come down to the precise timing. Drop a comment and I'll break down the timing specifics for your area. Looking at the GFS ensemble system, with its 30 individual members, it's showing this remains essentially a 50-50 proposition, whether the snowstorm develops into a major significant event, or whether it ends up being a relatively minor event. But you can see that, according to the majority of these ensemble members, you're going to receive some accumulation along the Central Plains corridor. It's just not going to be substantial amounts. Tell me in the comments which aspect of this complex weather pattern concerns you the most. The latest model forecast from the European model shows that as we move into Thursday morning, you're much more likely going to start experiencing thunderstorm development as we get that surface low-pressure system building over the Kansas area. This low-pressure development is going to bring chances for damaging winds and potentially even a brief tornado that residents need to be aware of and prepared for. As we progress towards the Thursday lunchtime hours and the system shifts towards Missouri, southern Iowa and into Illinois where it remains close to that surface low, we might experience what meteorologists call cyclogenesis, which is essentially a rapid strengthening and deepening of the low-pressure system. This cyclogenesis would bring significant damaging winds Thursday evening for Illinois, Indiana, possibly southern Michigan and western Ohio. Comment your state if you're located anywhere in this corridor. As we transition into Friday, this is when we see that deeper atmospheric trough really building up and developing. This is the time frame when we really start seeing a substantial threat for tornado development. As we get supercell thunderstorms forming around the Friday lunchtime hours, it really builds up into multiple layers of organized storms, bringing damaging winds and significant potential for tornadoes across the region. By Friday evening, the system really deepens further, and we have that surface low positioned in a location where it creates an enhanced threat all the way through Friday evening hours for the deep south states. Drop your city in the comments if you're located in the south and actively tracking this developing situation. This is also the time frame when those cold temperatures are rapidly dropping down towards the Four Corners region, and the snowfall is starting to really accumulate and build up. Remember, this is a low-pressure system that's rotating in a clockwise direction, essentially spinning all that precipitation towards those progressively colder temperature regions. So by Friday evening, you're going to observe more snow developing and intensifying, along with more severe storms continuing from the mid-Mississippi Valley and lower Mississippi Valley regions, all the way through Saturday when we still maintain a surface low position towards the Ohio Valley, and we could potentially see yet another day of severe weather threats. Tell me in the comments which particular threat concerns you most about this pattern. The primary atmospheric instability is concentrated towards the southern states, but we still maintain that pocket of instability that extends towards the northeast that could definitely bring additional weather threats to that region. Possibly some large hail, possibly some damaging winds associated with a linear storm system moving through. We're literally looking at a forecast window of approximately 4 days out at this point in time. But we're definitely getting that cold air mass, getting that snowstorm potential, and getting more storm systems as we progress through Saturday evening hours as well. Comment your location and I'll provide you with a comprehensive detailed breakdown. The temperature values you can expect as we move through Saturday morning show that deep atmospheric trough, bringing the freezing temperatures and very strong, dangerous wind chill values across multiple regions. Potentially, in Colorado and surrounding areas, you could experience wind chill values in the -20 to -30 degrees Fahrenheit range as that intense cold air mass pushes through. You can see the GFS model is in complete agreement with the European model, showing the cold air dropping down again on Saturday towards the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes regions, bringing those strong and dangerous wind chills along with it. Drop a comment if dangerous cold temperatures and wind chills are a significant concern for you and your area. By Sunday, the cold air stretches and extends towards the interior portions of the Northeast, bringing those freezing temperatures and very cold, dangerous wind chill values to that entire region. Monday, the pattern really pivots and focuses towards the eastern United States, while simultaneously, the western United States remains locked in freezing conditions as well. With the wind chill values forecast for Monday, this represents the time frame when the deepest and most intense cold could extend all the way down towards the southeast states. The GFS model remains in strong agreement with the European model on this cold air progression and timeline. Comment your city and I'll provide your specific wind chill forecast values. We have significantly more detailed information now about what is very likely happening right around the corner over the next several days. I will absolutely continue to keep you thoroughly updated, and when we start our forecast discussion tomorrow, we'll have even better and more refined information as the forecast models continue to come into tighter agreement. I will begin providing afternoon update videos as well so that we can really get this forecast narrowed down to very specific timing, anticipated impacts, and exactly what you can expect in your particular area. This weather pattern is going to create some dangerous and potentially life-threatening conditions for travel in certain regions. Comment your location and I'll provide specific travel advisories tailored to your area. Keep in mind, we still have that freezing rain that's currently falling and will likely continue today into tomorrow across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And for the Northeast states, you have ongoing chances for some freezing rain that will eventually transition over to snow accumulation. Just remain aware and prepared for those current conditions. But as we progress into Thursday all the way through the weekend timeframe, everything's going to start intensifying significantly and becoming much more dangerous. Drop your exact location in the comments one more time and tell me specifically what aspect of this evolving weather pattern concerns you the most. The location that receives the highest number of comments is going to receive a comprehensive and detailed breakdown analysis in tomorrow's forecast video update. Make absolutely sure you're paying very close attention to all the weather forecast updates so you know precisely what to expect right around the corner from this powerful storm system and this overall complex weather pattern. Not everybody's going to be positioned directly in the path of the severe thunderstorms, but virtually everyone across a widespread area is going to experience these cold temperatures and these very cold, dangerous wind chill values. Comment one final time with your city and state, and I will personally respond with your specific detailed forecast information.